I'm going to make sure I have security, because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend 10 more dollars on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, have y'all ever wondered why it seems that Black women have an easier road to power than Black men? Well, I've thought about that from time to time, and I think back to my graduating class in grad school, and that class may have had 200 students in it, and out of those 200, maybe 25 were Black. Out of that 25, maybe 75% were Black women. Just a small number, Black men. So it's easy to understand how Black women can ascend to political power easier than Black men because, well, there's more of them, even in that small minority. But here we have Cori Bush, my God, member of the squad who represent all things detrimental to America, in my opinion, following in the footsteps of those who came before her, such as Fani Willis, who we've covered, who used taxpayer dollars to hire her boyfriend and shovel money to him for a job he wasn't qualified for, the special prosecutor prosecuting the former president, Donald Trump. Well, here we have Cori Bush following in those footsteps, and I wonder if it's the sister code. I wonder if they share game in some kind of way and let each other know how to funnel this money, because here we have Cori Bush, who similarly to Fani Willis, hired her boyfriend only to shovel money to him. Money from her campaign. And now she's under federal investigation, just as Fani Willis might find herself under investigation.
This breaking news now. Sources have confirmed to Fox News that far-left Democrat squad member Cori Bush of Missouri is now under federal investigation for misusing federal security money. Bush has spent more than $750,000 on private security since she was elected in 2020. Now, remember, these are the same people who defunded the police, but then had to have private security. A watchdog has also demanded that the Federal Election Committee investigate $62,000 of that money that Bush paid to her now husband. He was her boyfriend back then. She hired him to be a security guard from her campaign account. You may remember Congresswoman Bush, one of the big proponents of defunding the police in 2020. I mention it again because look how much she spent to make sure she certainly didn't defund her protection.
It's not a good look for Black women. It's not a good look for Black folk, but it makes you wonder. It makes me wonder, who shared the game with you and told you this is how you can enrich yourself on the government dole? You go out here and you beg for money. You work your campaign and finesse the people just to shovel it to your boyfriend, who is now your husband. Give you credit for that. But here we have another Black woman falling into the same trap. It's disheartening. It's disgusting. It's un-American, but it points to the reason why so many people are disgusted with politicians. Now understand, y'all, this is the same woman who told you that you needed to defund the police, that you needed less police officers in your hood so that the criminals could run wild in your area. But as she wanted to decriminalize your neighborhood, she wanted to increase her own personal security because she says, well, I've received threats. Well, people in neighborhoods have received threats. People in neighborhoods are afraid to go out at night because the drug dealers run the streets. Little old ladies can't go down to the pharmacy on the corner because they're afraid of catching a stray bullet. But you say defund the police in those areas while you increase your own personal security, and that personal security happens to be your boo? Y'all, what is going on in American society? These politicians are criminals, Can we look past your political affiliation, your party affiliation? Can we look past your skin color and see what's really going on here? This is shameful. This woman sought to make your neighborhoods less secure while securing the bag for herself. Regardless of your party affiliation, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your religious beliefs, we would all be better off in this country to vote people like this out of office and put up safeguards so that they can never return. It's not enough to track down their misdeeds years after they've occurred. The damage has been done, not only in a financial sense, but in a sense of the damage to the American psyche. This is why people are turned off from politics altogether. This is why voter turnout is so low in recent times.
More than $500,000 has poured into St. Louis to help elect Wesley Bell to Congress.
He launched his campaign against Congresswoman Cori Bush last October after she called for a ceasefire in Gaza. Our political editor Mark Maxwell is here with more on the money coming into this race.
Mike and Ann, back when Wesley Bell jumped in, Congresswoman Cori Bush's campaign debts stacked 6 times higher than her cash on hand. Now both candidates are out raising money, trying to bolster their war chest for a fight that centers largely on war policy.
I need some money.
You have to raise money because campaigns are expensive.
Congresswoman Cori Bush and prosecutor Wesley Bell are both doing something they say they don't believe in, raising money to run for Congress.
I am for campaign finance reform.
I want the money out of politics. I don't, this is not a good system at all.
Federal election law caps individual contributions to campaigns at $3,300 per person per election. So far, Bell's campaign reports raising more than $600,000. But other outside groups like the American Israel Public Action Committee have more leeway to raise even more money.
So what we've heard is anywhere between $2 to $20 million right here in this race. They want to buy this seat.
I've never seen $20 million. I've never been offered $20 million. But I think that there are a host of issues that this district that need to be addressed in this district.
What do we want? Ceasefire!
Bush rallied her supporters to call for a ceasefire in Gaza, drawing opposition from AIPAC.
They decided, well, since you won't say that you stand 100%, with Israel, and since you said ceasefire, that was the big thing. You said ceasefire. We want to get you out.
It's hard for me to justify a ceasefire after a ceasefire was broken by Hamas, the terrorist organization.
In the last election cycle, AIPAC reported spending $14.5 million to help elect 342 pro-Israel candidates.
And they use that to help oust anybody who does not stand 100% with Israel in the way that means that Israel has to be supreme.
The group boasted its involvement in 13 critical primaries against candidates who would have weakened the U.S.-Israel relationship.
And Hamas is a terrorist organization that has made it clear that their goals are the destruction of Israel, and we cannot tolerate that.
The deadline to file campaign finance paperwork for the last 3 months is coming up this Wednesday. That's when we'll learn more about who is bankrolling Bell's campaign. At her rally Saturday, Bush suggested that some of those people could be Republicans trying to meddle in a Democratic primary.
And it's up to we the people to let these politicians know that they work for us. We don't work for them. And when we catch them in criminal acts, whether they be a county prosecutor or a congresswoman or a senator, or even a president of the United States who's been taking foreign funds for who knows what. It's up to us as a society to hold these people accountable. What do you think about this story? I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments, y'all. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.